Hi, I just got out of the Rise of Skywalker and I thought I'm sitting in the basement car park here. It's 3 a.m. in the morning and I thought I'd give you my thoughts on it. I'll try and do spoiler free, but hey, if you don't want to know anything, I might accidentally say something, so yeah, stop now. So I'll give you my thoughts. I jotted down a couple of notes. I'm still trying to comprehend it, and it's like, oh, okay. Because The Last Jedi, of course, sucked. It was completely insulting, and J.J. Abrams had a lot to fix in this one. And, well, look, I'll go through the things that I liked first, and then which is less than what I didn't like. So I'll go through the good things first. It was obvious that J.J. Abrams was trying to fix the mess that was The Last Jedi. And there were like 3, 4 at least really like screw you to Rian Johnson. It's like, I'm going to fix this. And it was so obvious that it was just like the smirks on characters' faces when they were like, it's just, I kind of enjoyed that. I really did. So he did try and fix a lot of the screw ups. And it was very nostalgic. If you're after nostalgia, emotional nostalgia, there's plenty of it in this. So that was like, there were some really good scenes where I went, yep, that's, thank you very much. I really liked that, really enjoyed it. So there were quite a few of those. There's probably on you'll need a second viewing because it's so fast. The whole movie's so fast. You'll need a second viewing, third even, to comprehend everything. There were some plot elements that I did like, but I'll get into the bad stuff. There were a few moments when I go, like, because generally, okay, overall the movie was pretty bad, but there were some plot elements that I did actually like, and I thought, oh, they're going to kind of, this is now going in a good direction. I'm liking this now, and I'll forget everything I saw before, and this is really good, and then anyway, there were a few of them. It's just non-stop action, really. If you looking for action in your Star Wars movies, this one has it in spades. It's like there's lots of Disney bucks spent on this one, and there's just tons of. It's almost non-stop. Doesn't stop to breathe. Really, which is one of its downsides. There was one big surprise in it. Like most of the stuff I had guessed or like it was pretty obvious. Because if like obviously, Palpatine's back. That's all in the trailers and stuff like that. And it was fairly obvious what a lot of the plot elements were going to be, at least to me anyway, and it turns out to be true. But there was a one scene where, oh, yes, and it probably got the biggest cheer out of the audience. There weren't too many cheers, but that was certainly one of them. So yeah, that's about it for the good. No, other good things are that the characters are better this time. Like, they're not made into a joke like they were in The Last Jedi. But yeah, let's get into the bad stuff, shall we? What have I got? Oh my, few notes. Literally from the first words in the crawl, where the opening crawl, the first words, you go, like, you kind of like go, oh geez, you're like, this is just going to be a mess. And the movie is a mess. It is an absolute mess. It was rushed. You could tell. Like, goodness, if they had another couple of months to edit this thing, it would have been probably a hell of a lot better. It was painful. The first act, like the first, basically the first act. Movies are usually a three act movie, and this one pretty much was. And the first day, it was just a mess. It was all just running from place to place. Like, I think there were like, I lost count. I think there were like 6 different locations in the first 10 minutes. It was just, and that just went throughout the whole movie, cutting back and forth, cutting back and forth. It was insane, absolutely insane. And lots of exposition and stuff like that, trying to build up the MacGuffin in this thing, which is the thing they have to find to go on their journey, you know. And no, they could have ditched the MacGuffin and made it a much better movie. I don't think they needed that. It was just, no, it was terrible. It's a mess. That's how I'd sum it up. It really is a mess of a movie. Even though there's some, you know, a few scenes, quite, you know, maybe half a dozen scenes in it that are quite good. But yeah, no, this movie's a mess. What do we got? Palpatine was obviously, like, you know, I think at one point, was it Kathleen Kennedy who said, oh, he was always from the get-go, he was going to be in it, you know, like he was like going to return. And no, it's so obvious that he was shoehorned in. A lot of the Palpatine stuff, actually, you know, I almost like it, you know, Palpatine fanboy, and you know, so if you're into your Palpatine action, it could be all right. But yeah, it was obviously shoehorned in, absolutely obvious. Some new things in the movie that are just silly. I won't go into details, but they're just silly. And Rey, if you know the Mary Sue thing, she can do everything, do no wrong and stuff like that, and it's there. She does more in this one. So yeah, if you thought she was Mary Sue in the others, yeah, this one dials it up to 11, I'm afraid. Someone's taken off next to me. And what else have I got? Did I get anything else? Rey, Finn, Poe, they spent like half the movie just bickering with each other. It was just ridiculous. No, it's silly. That's it. I could go on and on. No, I don't have any more notes. There was one scene. Is it in the? I can't remember which act it was in. Anyway, there was one scene that I almost like walked out, like I wanted to walk out. I went, no effing way did you do that. Like a bit, you know, have to stay and watch it, of course. Anyway, I won't say any more about that. You'll know the scene when you see it. So anyway, so yeah, the first act of the movie is absolutely terrible. It's just a mess, jumping from location to location. It's just, your mind's just going, what? It's an absolute mess. And then I thought the second act, though, there was, you know, it sort of started to mellow out a bit and sort of settle down, although it's still jumping from location to location, scene to scene and all that sort of jazz. And it was a bit better. I thought, okay, it's getting back on track. This will be good. And then no, it kind of, and when you think it's starting to get good, no, it'll be silly again and just go back to its old messy ways and stuff like that. And the final act, the ending, I don't know, you're either going to love it or hate it. It's very emotional, the ending, very emotional. So, like, to a true fan, of course. So, yeah, you know, there were lots. It was great to see Lando again, absolutely brilliant. No, but this was just, it was just dialed up to J.J. Abrams 11, like all the, like the battles and things like that. Wow, there was so much on the screen. It was just ridiculous. And some of the silly stuff that I thought, you know, I saw seeing the trailers and stuff like that worked out a bit better. Even like Rose Tico is in it again, and not as annoying as previous. Like I don't know, kind of. I'm not saying they redeemed her or anything, but anyway, it wasn't silly like it. wasn't silly. It was messy. That like the Rise, not the Rise of Skywalker, the Last Jedi. I'm losing it. It's way past 3 a.m. The Last Jedi, of course, was an insulting, just cluster F. It was just, it was absolutely terrible. This one's not as bad, but I wouldn't. It's not something I want to rewatch. So whether it's not. I don't see this one going to be anyone's favorite in the series. It's going to be ranked right down there with The Last Jedi. But there are a lot better scenes in this one that kind of save it from not being as bad as The Last Jedi. So, yeah, but it's a mess, though. It's a mess. Oh, goodness, it's a mess. Yeah, it's a shame because the story, some of the story and the plot and stuff, it wasn't too bad. I was down with it, and it just, in the end, it was just a messy movie. Terrible. So, yeah. But some enjoying moments, lots of enjoying moments, lots of emotional moments. So if you're nostalgic for the old trilogy, and yeah, I don't know, I've got to watch it again. Anyway, they're my initial thoughts. I'll call it quits. Yeah. That was the Rise of Skywalker, and yeah, it's probably gonna bomb at the box office. It's a it's a mess, but you're probably got to go see it to finish out the saga. And yeah, they try and tie everything back together, but it's too try hard, and I don't know. It's a pretty forgettable movie, really. Like a couple of scenes I'll remember and want to watch again, but apart from that, 90+% of it, I just don't want to watch it, really. I was hoping for better. I had a very low bar going into this, and it didn't really make the bar. It kind of, a couple of scenes, it's jumping above the bar in a couple of scenes, and then it's limboing back under that low bar. And no. Anyway, that's the Rise of Skywalker. So it was almost as if there was 10 hours worth of, like they didn't spend any time on anything. It was just bam, 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 wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And wow, what was the longest scene? Would have been 30 seconds in the whole thing, or maybe a bit more, but it was just, wow, it was all over the shop, really. And it was 10 hours worth of script jammed into 2 hours. It was, yeah. They could have, I think the story could have worked. It could have worked. J.J. Abrams could have pulled off the story there, but it just, I think there was just too many, last-minute stuff and changes or whatever they were doing, and it's just a mess. Anyway, Rise of Skywalker. Maybe I'll have to watch it again. I won't go back to the movies and see it again. Although if somebody drags me along to see it or something, maybe I'll go back, but I wouldn't be looking forward to it, really. It's just, whoa, it's just on the screen. It's a mess. Anyway, that's it. Rise of Skywalker. Let me know what you think down below. Have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you like the ending? Did you like, anyway, let us know your thoughts down below. Catch you next time.